Thank you for joining us today for the Vacation Renting 101 webinar, brought to you by HomeAway.com. Today we're going to cover how to start renting your vacation home and the 7 steps for getting started. We're going to talk first about the laws and insurance requirements, then how you set rental goals, next how you need to assess your rental options, then determining your target renter, outfitting your home, determining your rental process, and lastly, starting to advertise. If you've purchased a vacation home or are thinking about purchasing one and you know you want to rent it out, it's important to check the state and local short-term rental regulations. Check with your city or county to see if there are any short-term rental restrictions currently on the books. Be familiar with these rules ahead of time to prevent legal trouble down the road. To begin renting your home on a short-term basis, you may need to change your insurance policy. This is typically the last thing you think about for your primary residence, but it's very important to have the proper coverage when you're renting out your vacation home. You're also going to need to create a rental agreement and have it checked over by an attorney. You don't want to have guests staying in your home without some kind of formal agreement or contract. It's better to be safe than sorry, so be sure to put all relevant information in writing. For a sample rental agreement, visit the HomeAway owner community at ownercommunity.com. Something else that you'll want to look into before you begin renting your home are the sales tax requirements in your area. In most vacation markets, vacation rental owners are required to collect sales tax from their renters and remit it to the local.
We know that many owners purchase a vacation home with the intention of renting it out, so it's important to determine why you want to rent your home in order to set your goals. So you can just try to cover major expenses and break even, or you might just want to share your home with others and meet interesting people, but either way you can set goals for your rental income or the number of weeks you'd like to book. Whether or not you're in it for the money, it's important to evaluate the potential income along with expenses. This can be useful for your own planning and for tax purposes. Determining your potential income goes hand in hand with your rental rates. We'll discuss rates a little more later, but in general, the rate for one peak week rental is typically equal to 1 month's mortgage payment. So in theory, you could break even on your mortgage if you rent out all 12 peak weeks, which is typical for markets that have one season that's more popular. You also want to consider how many off-peak weeks and weekends you could potentially book. Those extra bookings can cover other expenses like your insurance, taxes, utilities, and association dues. By totaling the rental income from your bookings and subtracting the expenses associated with owning your home, you can determine your profit or loss. When you do choose to rent out your vacation home, you basically have 3 options. If you know that you don't have the time or patience to handle bookings, maintenance, renters issues, you might want to work with a property manager. You're going to sacrifice some control because you won't be able to personally screen your renters, but you'll also be forking over some pretty high commissions. The other option is to develop a partnership program with a property manager. That means you choose what services you'd like them to provide. So they might handle the cleaning and maintenance and you do the bookings, or you might take care of your listing on HomeAway or VRBO, and then you can refer those inquiries to the property manager. But you might still be able to retain some control, but you're going to be paying commissions again on every booking. Your last option is to self-manage or rent by owner. While it does take some work, you have complete control over the screening of who stays in your home, and you won't have to sacrifice any commissions.
When you begin renting your vacation home, it's important to think of it like a business. Your vacation home is your product, and it's important to determine who your target audience for that product is. Many owners are excited to get started and jump right in head first without considering this important piece of the puzzle. Due to location, size, and amenities, many vacation homes are perfect for families with kids. In the off-season, though, there's a good chance you'll attract more seniors and snowbirds who don't have kids at home and can easily take extended vacations. Business travelers are also a growing target group for vacation homes, especially if you're near an airport or a major metropolitan area. Once you've determined your target renters, you can more appropriately outfit your home. The first step is to remove personal effects. There's a fine line between owner convenience and guest comfort. While you don't want your home to appear like a shrine to your family, you also don't want it to seem barren. It is okay to leave a few personal photos to remind your guests that this is in fact your second home and you do use it yourself. Next, you're going to want to consider the bed setup in each room. This will depend on your target maximum occupancy and also the types of groups that you're catering to. You're also going to want to stock up on linens and towels so your renters will have enough for their stay. We recommend buying high-quality linens and towels in light colors that are easy to clean. Also consider adding a few extras. In the world of vacation rentals, increasingly, amenities are what sets one home apart from another. We'll go into more detail about amenities in just a little bit. Now I'm going to talk about the most common bed setups in vacation rentals. A king or queen in the master is pretty important. A double or full-size bed is simply not large enough to accommodate most couples. If people are used to sleeping in a king-size bed at home, they will often seek that out in their vacation accommodations, so don't miss out on those renters by only offering a queen or full-size. If you include 2 twin beds in one of your rooms, these can be used for children or can be pushed together to serve as a king-size bed for a couple. Many owners choose to go this route for flexibility. If your home is in an area that will definitely attract kids, bunk beds could be an efficient use of space and could help increase your sleep number. Just make sure you're not cramming too many beds into one room. So let's take a look at the extras that renters are looking for. Adequate cooking gear. Kitchens are one of the main reasons that travelers choose to stay in vacation rentals over hotels, and they expect your kitchen to be well equipped. You should stock twice as many dishes and silverware as the number that your home sleeps. Wireless internet has quickly become one of the most requested amenities in vacation homes. In fact, wireless internet has become less of an amenity and more of a must-have. Quality linens. Since many hotels now offer high thread count sheets, people expect the same from vacation homes. You don't have to go overboard, but make sure that you have pretty high quality sheets and towels, and that you have an extra set available in case the sheets begin to get pilled. As mentioned earlier, people are going to expect king-size beds, especially in homes that are positioned as luxury. If they're used to a king-size bed at home, they probably don't want to compromise when they go on vacation. When people go on vacation, they tend to spend more time outdoors, and barbecuing is a popular pastime. Plus, many renters will choose a vacation home for the ability to cook themselves, and a barbecue grill is another way for them to avoid eating a dinner out. Outdoor seating. When travelers spend more time outdoors, they want to be comfortable. An ideal setup would be a place for lounging or relaxing, like a chaise or swing, and a place for eating outdoors. Hot tubs are increasingly sought after in the colder markets like Colorado or Gatlinburg, Tennessee. The surroundings are beautiful, so travelers want a place to enjoy the outdoors and still stay warm. Swimming pools are obviously a big draw for potential renters. No big surprise here. It's an easy and cheap way for travelers to entertain themselves and their children. If you don't have a swimming pool on your property or complex, look into community pools that your renters could potentially use.
Okay, so one of the first steps in actually renting your home is to figure out how you're going to get paid. Your best bets are credit cards and personal checks. Although you have to pay a fee for accepting credit cards, it's going to make life simpler for you and your renters. Many renters even consider it to be a must. There's no delay in receiving your deposit, and you can even process refunds online, so accepting credit cards is definitely a good idea. Some people do still like to take personal checks to avoid those credit card fees, but just make sure you cash the check immediately and give it ample time to clear before the renter has access to your property. Certified checks, wire transfers, and cash are the most high-risk methods of accepting payments. Certified checks and wire transfers are commonly associated with fraud and scams. So unless you're doing a bank-to-bank wire transfer that's traceable, we advise against this. And cash is dangerous because obviously, if you mail it, anyone can find it and claim it. You also have to determine how your renters will get into your property once they're there if you don't live in the same city. A lockbox would only cost about $25 to $30 and it would attach to your door. Then you set your own code and place the keys inside. You'll give the renter the combination when you send the directions to your home. The downside, though, is that you can't change the code after each renter. Keyless entry is another option. It's a little more expensive at about $100 to $150, but it's still very simple to use, and you can have your housekeeper change the code after each guest, so that provides for a little bit of added safety. And once you get started, you'll need a way to organize your bookings. This can be one of the most challenging parts of renting your vacation home. But luckily, HomeAway has created a product that can help you keep up with your calendar. On HomeAway Connect, you can track your availability, reservations, and tentative bookings. This is a great way to get an overview of how well your season is going.
Once you have your home all squared away and ready for rentals, it's time to start promoting it. To start, you'll want to determine your home's selling points and why renters may want to stay there. It has been determined that the internet is one of the most cost-effective places to advertise. You have a huge audience, and believe it or not, when you're advertising alongside other homes, you tend to do better because travelers like to have choices. We recommend picking 3 to 5 sites to advertise on. These can include portal sites like HomeAway, VRBO, or VacationRentals.com. It can also include specialty sites that cater to groups or interests like fishing or golf, or you can build a personal website to feature more information and photos of your home. In summary, the keys to success in renting your home are: first, to start with a plan, to think of your vacation rental as a business, to get everything in writing, to build great ads, and to respond promptly to inquiries. Thanks for listening to the Vacation Renting 101 webinar brought to you by HomeAway.com. If you found today's webinar to be useful, sign up for upcoming webinars from HomeAway at the owner community at ownercommunity.com. Thanks and happy renting!